to think about these kinds of things, so they turn on the television, and then that shuts up, and then they don't have to think about it.
Yeah, directly sitting with it also can be very abstract, and it can be, as opposed to just doing stuff or going out in high energy kind of environments, obviously going inwards and being a little silent, being a little still, also sometimes, I don't know, kind of feels like the energy is going low, as opposed to, like, let's say you're going to a lively place and people are walking around and your attention is out over there. So,
well, it depends on what your intentions are. Again, most people aren't really interested in the kinds of stuff you and I are talking about here. They just soon turn on the television and watch some cops shooting somebody or something. I mean, I don't know, maybe 5%, maybe a little more than that percent of the population is seriously pursuing issues like you and I are talking about.
So what to do with the low feeling that occurs? Because the point and the intent is very clear. I'm also interested in just looking at this, right? Shutting off or going into that, whatever you want to call it, the inner, that which is meaningful, or I don't know what to even call it, right?
No, we don't know what there's
right.
Nothing to call it.
So as long as you get what I'm pointing at. But in the meantime, like the extroversion or the extricating of attention from, the regular things. Like, I mean, if I go out for a coffee, if I go out for a meal, or, for a walk, or even like in nature, or even in a mall for that matter, like an open, not even a mall really, like an open, what can you call it? Marketplace kind of thing, and an open mall kind of whatever.
Were there a lot of people around? Is that
yeah, well, there are some people around at least, like in a cafe or something. Yeah. So I mean, I don't have that kind of. I mean, you can, in a way, you can say the mind is not in overdrive for me because it's already, it's not. Unfortunately, it's like the whole point of looking within is to be in that. It's not about the mind. It's not about that. But sometimes the attempt of looking can make it feel heavier.
Well, yeah. Before you find it, in the process of looking for something isn't always fun. I mean, if you're looking for something, that means you've got this idea that the way it is now isn't good enough, and something else would be better. And if that's the way your language machine is formulating things, then that probably, like I chased enlightenment for like 40 years, and I was dedicated to it. But when I look back on it now, I wasn't very happy because I was always dissatisfied. I was looking for enlightenment, always looking for something.
What's the alternative?
Accepting the fact that you're not enlightened, at least right now. And to me, it came to the point where I realized I was enlightened enough that I could certainly be much more enlightened. Sure, there are people on the planet way more enlightened than I am. But for me to do what I'm here to do, I don't really need to be any more enlightened than I am. Think of it like a piano player who never gives concerts. He just sits in his house 10 hours a day practicing because he's not perfect yet. He keeps practicing. He's very good, but he's not satisfied. So he just 8 hours a day, all day, practicing at the piano. But actually, he can take an hour every once in a while and go play some music for somebody and bring some joy into the world, even though he's not perfect. And that's sort of how I began to feel. I started thinking that my seeking enlightenment was self-indulgence. That there was stuff I could do, but that would mean I'd have to take time away from meditation, and and I'd have to start spending time doing other things, and that made sense to me. I figured, it was just, I was being selfish. I was just sitting around meditating, trying to get enlightened, all for me. So, yeah.
Interesting, the analogy is interesting, the way in which you processed it and the way in which you saw it. It wasn't the way you've put it. It doesn't, like, you didn't say that it was getting too much for you to just keep sitting with it. And it would be nice to put your attention outward. But instead, for you, it felt like, you could be useful with what you know so far.
Yeah.
And share that with others.
Right. Yeah. There really isn't any need. I mean, like I say, I'm enlightened enough. I'm pretty happy. I don't have any problems. My life is simple, and maybe it'll change and I'll be miserable again. But I don't know. I'm happy enough. And sometimes I get upset my computer doesn't work right. That makes me unhappy. And but other than that,
How long have you been happy?
I know it's been about the last 10 years, I think.
And it has stayed that way, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. And I think what it is.
What does happiness feel like to you, Aaron?
Oh, it's more like a lack of unhappiness.
But you're able to perceive that?
Well, I just don't have any problems. I mean, I do. I mean, I have some. Like I say, for the last month, I've been dealing with severe computer problems. But finally,
that doesn't bother you, right?
Oh no, that did bother me. That bothered me a lot. But that's been solved. I mean, it didn't destroy my life, but it was a source of annoyance that occupied me considerably for more than a month until I finally got it fixed. Turns out.
Why did it bother you that much, though?
Well, because I'm involved in this art project, and I need my computer to do some stuff with some of the art, and the computer wasn't working right and wouldn't process these images, and so I put this whole project, on hold until I was going to have to get a new computer, or anyway, that problem has been resolved now. But it was a big problem for me. And
like you have to upload images or something?
No, they need to be altered. I've got some low res images that I'm using. You really want to hear the whole story?
Well, I mean, what kind of art needs a computer is interesting, right? I don't know what that is. I mean, for me, art is like pick up a brush and start painting.
Oh, that's one kind of art. There's all kinds of art. What about photography?
Of course.
What about sculpture? There's lots of different kinds of art. You can use computers to make visual images.
No, I thought, like when you said you were painting in the background, I thought it was like a regular painting.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean?
No, I do digital art.
Okay.
And I use AI. I've been doing digital art for 20 years. I've got thousands of images that I've created over the last 20 years. And the project I'm involved with now is I'm taking some of my favorite images. Well, actually, it's not even favorite images. It started out that way. But anyway, I'm using AI to alter my original art in specific ways. And that's the project I'm involved in. So I take my original art, I run it through AI, and it generates a bunch of variations, but they're relatively low resolution, and they have to be upscaled to add resolution to them. And that takes a lot of computing power to upscale.
Well, maybe you can PTR an image that you've.
Are you on Facebook?
Right now, I have a very bad Wi-Fi connection, and I'm on data roaming on my phone, and it's going to open nothing. In fact, it might just throw me out of Clubhouse any second.
But you have a computer, right?
I'm just using my phone right now.
No, there's no point even looking at my art on a phone.
I mean, that's what I'm using for now. I can't help it.
Yeah, and I can't help you because your screen is inadequate to display the images that I create. My images are designed for a 8K 40-inch monitor.
Okay, I don't know how big that is.
Well,
like a TV screen, like a 40-inch TV screen?
well, like 40 inches. Diagonal, 40 inches, 8K.
40 inches is like as big as a TV, not, I mean, it
Well,
should
it's
be bigger
big,
than
yeah.
a
Well, the
regular.
biggest standard desktop monitors are 32 inches. The 4K 32 inches are sort of the biggest you can buy now. That's the standard size. 32-inch 4K. But my work is designed, because these monitors, they're available now, but they're really expensive. They're like $9,000. But they'll be $500 3 years from now. So I'm just thinking ahead here.
What is it? Your images, you mean?
Pardon me?
Are you talking about your images?
Yeah, they're designed to be viewed on an 8K 40-inch monitor.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what's the reference of 8K in this case?
No, it just means that they're extremely high resolution. You can put a pair of reading glasses on and put your face 3 inches in front of that monitor, and you do not see any pixels.
Mm.
They're just stunningly beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. I've got a pair of 5 diopter reading glasses.
So you mean if you put up a pic on your display picture right now, nothing would be visible?
Oh no, you can see it, but let me find one. I'll put one up here. Let's see, change my photo. Pick from the library. Okay, so let me find something. Well, this isn't going to work too well because this is just I'll put one up, but like I say, this little tiny thing is just not adequate. But I gotta try and find something that might work for that. Well, let's let me see here. I've never put one of these in here. Oh well, I'll just pick this one. Okay. Okay, I think this. Okay, so I did a place there, but this is just a small section of the picture. But that's part of it.
I mean, you've given me a task to do in a way for myself.
You know where the word coconut comes from, obviously.
You know,
What do you have with the word coconut?
I was studying when I used to have a laptop. It's like years ago now. It's like maybe 20 years almost.
Really?
Like,
I mean, you haven't. Well, apparently you don't need a computer.
Yeah, I don't actually.
Yeah, well, you don't need a computer. I mean, unless you need a computer. But if you want
at that time I used to, go work on it.
A computer is just an absolutely essential part of my life. I mean, I couldn't do my art without it. I couldn't do a lot. I couldn't have done all my linguistics work without a computer either. Computer is absolutely essential. And now with AI, it's just getting really interesting.
I had a small interaction with the regular ChatGPT, the regular free version. That's how. I mean, I guess it's free. I don't know because it.
Yeah, there's a free version. Yeah.
Hmm?
There is a free version. Yeah.
I just had a small interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, your image is uploaded. I can see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome award-winning international singer, Mary Milben.
It started as a piece of art that I created digitally, and then I ran that through an AI, through a thing called Dream, and and it alters it according to the prompts that I give it. And this is one of, basically what I do with the project is I have one of my images and then a series of variations on it. Sort of like in music, there's a form called theme and variations. Have you ever heard, you know what that is? Theme and variations format.
Yeah, I haven't used it though.
Oh, well, anyway, theme and, it's like Bach's Goldberg variations. He starts with this theme and then he has a whole set of 30 variations, on that theme. It's recognizably harmonically the same pattern, but it's different, just different ways to play that. And so I'm doing the same thing with visual imagery instead of music.
So people buy it or?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting ready to. That's what this whole project is. I've got close to 3,000 images so far.
No, but you must have sold some in the past, right?
Oh, I've sold. Yeah, not very many. I don't really do art just to make money. I do art because it's fun doing art.
Oh, okay.
I don't need to make a living at it. But this, I think I'm going to make some money on. And I want it, it's not for everybody. My art is sort of peculiar. It's not for everybody. But for the people it's for, they're going to love it. Like there's some people who love, you ever see these electron microscope pictures of flies' heads, with all this detail? You know what I'm talking about?
Hopefully. Yeah, I get a little bit of what you're saying, but
Well,
I don't think I've seen them.
some people really enjoy looking at fine detail, lots of little things that change and are there to look at. And some people don't like that kind of stuff. They like a nice smooth thing or broad colors or something. But my stuff is incredibly highly detailed. And you can look at it for hours and never see all of it. And so for the people who like that kind of stuff, they're going to love my work. But it's, like I say, for people who don't like it, then they'll pass it by.
And what is it trying to communicate, or is it just that?
It's just, it looks fantastic if that's the kind of stuff you like. That's all. What's the good of going into the mountains and looking at the trees? There it is.
That's nature, and
what's
real and natural, right? Feels like. But
this is no different. That's just that whole idea of natural and artificial is just a human distinction. What you have is some people don't like my stuff because it's done with a computer. They're more interested in how the image got created than what the image is itself. All they're concerned is about how did this image get created. They don't even care what the image itself looks like. And for me, I don't really give a shit how the thing got created. If I like the way it looks, then I'm happy. If a person did it, great. If a computer did it, equally great. I don't care. All I care about is the image itself.
But I understand your point.
Yeah, like you gave the example of being in the mountains. It's joy, basically, and this gives you joy, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
What I'm doing is more.
But I understand your point.
Do you know what an agate is? A rock, a stone called agate.
Yeah.
Okay, with all the patterns and squirrely lines and stuff. When you look at an agate, a rough agate, when you dig them out of the ground, they don't look they don't look like anything. They just look like a crummy rock. You can see some colors maybe a little bit popping through.
Have fun traveling the world.
Look like much. But if you know what you're doing, and you dig one up, and then you cut it and polish it, you end up with this miracle little beautiful product of the earth. It's gorgeous. And what I'm doing is very similar. I'm sort of like a jeweler rather than an artist in the other sense. The rough agate is my original artwork. And then the AI is like
if you don't travel the world
and polishing it. And as you cut through on
you don't travel in the
you
summer.
see different things. So it's exciting to do it because I never know what I'm going to get until you don't know what you're going to get until you cut the agate open. And then you see what's in there, and someone who's done that all their life, they begin to understand how to cut at what angle to get the kind of stuff they want, you know? And so anyway, what I'm doing is very similar to.
Oh, if you don't
what
travel in the
Hudson
summer, I'd love to
Agnes-
invite you in my boat in Montrose Harbor. It's very peaceful.
Yeah. That's a really beautiful analogy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Have fun traveling the world.
There's so much ego involved in art, you know, artists and their egos. But again, yeah, this isn't my creation. I discovered this stuff. This is the creation of Earth. It's not me. But what I do is I dig them up and then cut them and polish them and present them.
Wanna travel the world, bitch.
Yes.
I don't wanna be on YouTube.
Threatens to put tariffs on the countries, right?
I don't know. I have no
He said,
idea.
we're gonna put 50% tariffs, you're gonna be the 51st state of the United States. And I wish people would just kind of look back and look at history with him. He said that he makes a giant big deal about it, and then, oh, lo and behold, the tariffs that that country had on the United States are cut in half, or they come to some sort of agreement. It's the same thing when you hear these articles. Oh my God, the poor federal workers, they're just so
I'm just making points, but I understand
we
your
need
point.
to
We should
protect
have
them.
as always.
When you see
When you're
articles
traveling
like
summer,
that,
I'd love to invite you
what
to
I
my
would
boat in
suggest
Montrose Harbor.
is
It's very
wait it
peaceful.
out 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That would be my suggestion.
Well, that's what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah.
These like everyone's complaining or screaming about the federal employee cut. As someone who unfortunately had a closer run with the government, they weren't efficient when they looked good. Like during Obama's era, I can tell you, they were completely not knowing what they were doing in every regard. It was absolutely disgusting, and Bush's era was no different. So I'm agreeing with the bloat cutting. He's cutting off the pus. He's cutting off the gangrene limbs. Like that
Oh,
was
it's not
sadly
traveling the
the government.
world.
I agree.
Just making
My
points,
only
but I
concern
understand your
is
point. We
them
should
reinstating
if you don't
certain
travel in
things that
summer,
we do
I'd invite
need.
you to my boat in
We do
Montrose
need
Harbor.
certain security officers, unfortunately. We do need little or some of those, we need some of those bureaucratic processes. Not most of them,
Absolutely.
because that's what's, yeah,
Like what?
that's my.
Wait, hold on. So Ricky, when we say these things in just passive recognition, can we maybe break them down? What exactly, what bureaucratic processes do we need?
Like we need a group of people that are able to administrate the, let's say, Social Security non-fund, right? We need people who are able to process those payments. And let's say they have 10,000 now, we probably need 2,000 of those people. But in the time being, you can't just cut all of those 8,000 people. You have to do it slowly so that government doesn't grind to a halt. But just the act of doing it and looking into it is
So
a
then
good thing.
why don't we look at the process?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
Adams,
again,
are you
looking
real quick? Are you what do you do for a living right now? Because
I really don't want to get into that, but I mean,
I'll just say from my perspective, right? I manage a bunch of project managers, people that make close to $200,000 a year. They're well seasoned in their craft, and implementing processes is not easy, right? I can just go down and say, hey, you need to do this now, but it's not easy to kind of boil down the best process and then implement it to a large organization. So you're saying we need processes. I agree with you, but that's what the time is for. You can't get rid of 80% of the federal workforce. You got to get rid of 50. And
no,
then
Ricky, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Go ahead. Anybody else here?
Yeah, I can.
Responses and multiple
So wait, start over. Yeah, you got like 20 seconds where you
I
were.
was just making some points.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Now we hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, you guys can move on. Sorry.
Points, but I understand your point, but she doesn't always. You don't travel in summer, look.
How's everyone else doing? We have a bunch of good people in here tonight. Oh, Shane. Shane, you go offline.
Someone who can travel the world with me, not through YouTube, is aligned with my medicine path, which
Thank
is of no
you.
interest to you. So wishing
Please
you lots
see.
of joy
No.
to align with someone that would give you what you're looking for.
So, does anybody on stage want to take on the title of the room? While we wait for Adams to get back, I don't know if anybody wants to speak on. Has Trump kept his word so far?
Promises made, promises kept.
You're pretty happy. You're pretty happy.
Okay, good. This is so lame. So fucking lame.
You should focus on what you call it,
I
bootleg.
was trying to roll it, though.
You know, I just feel like you feel hurt a little bit. Not hurt. I'm not trying to troll you with the hurt thing. Something makes me feel bad, like your friendship is a little damaged. Is there anything I can do?
They need to go to a private room and talk.
Hey, Monty, I thought it was cool. What are you doing there? What are you doing? Yo, I think it's a maturity thing. Like, you know, it's gay men on this app. I hate that I'm comparing myself to a gay man, but it is what it is. It's gay men on this app.
Sorry, my bad.
I know you find that funny. It's not supposed to be that funny, but it's gay men on this app that, you know, talk about the activities that they get into, and a nigga disown you off the strength. You know what I'm saying? So I understand if a nigga disown me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm honest about who I am. You don't like what I am, then move around. It be what it be. But yeah, that's
I
really,
like that ish word. Yeah.
that's really it. I'm low key
Some people
forgetting.
they gotta mature and shit. So fuck it. All right. Now, Chris, why are you back on the stage?
Oh man, I'm just chilling and laughing. I'm chilling and laughing and drinking and, you know.
That nigga tried to change your picture.
I'll change the motherfucker 10 more times. What you mean? I'll change the motherfucker 10 more times. You wanna see me snowboard? Which one? Cause I'll be outside, bro. I don't got a problem building muscle or sustaining a workout.
Well, there's one nigga that you're never there. I guess.
But do you premature ejaculate?
Hey, what's up? And I can hold on for at least 11 minutes. What you talking about?
That nigga said that shit like that's a flex.
Yeah, I'm just talking shit, bro. No matter what I say, T finna try to goddamn railroad my motherfucking ass.
Oh no,
So I'm not even finna go through that.
11 minutes? That's pathetic. You have 2 hours, player.
Why are you
2 hours? Hey, who said it? This a race.
Kundalini chakras.
This a race that I won, bitch. You better get to the finish line first, cause I'm getting there.
Yes.
Do not come.
I'm definitely not fat, though.
That's crazy that we're looking at.
Your ass was breathing hard as hell. I mean, he ain't seen it. Damn, nigga, 5 words, like 50 minutes running.
I'm definitely not fat, bro. I do too much to be fat. I move around too much to be fat.
Nigga, fat people still move around. Just consume too much.
Fat people don't do. I was gonna say I live an active lifestyle, so I can't be fat.
What's up, Bishop? And now subscribe.
Yeah, I just came to make fun of Mackendall. Mackendall don't look like that. He's a brother, and you know, Mackendall loves the debate, but he don't create. He just masturbate.
Bars. Wash your hands, Ish.
Yeah, I keep trying to get Ish to create a show, you know, and record himself and become an influencer. But, you know, he just likes to hang out. He's just like a guy on the block selling Gucci flip flop.
Creating and
Harlow,
masturbating.
you gotta fix your mic, Harlow.
Oh, Heavy, we need you up here for this topic. Duh. Look at Heavy. This is the first time Heavy just want to sit in the goo. He just keep dropping himself to the stage. Hello, I just want to ask you the question in the title. You don't want to answer.
You gotta have at least an average dick. I mean, it's a standard.
You gotta, because you're saying they're giving us, your production tells us the sound is off.
I don't give a fuck what they say. They don't like talking about dick.
Dick. So just
Dick.
Yo, for a room that's bothering me so much, or for a room that's
My
bothering me,
mic is better now, you dicks.
you leave.
Yeah, you good, Harlow.
what's wrong, Ish? What did you say?
No, I was saying for a room that's bothering you so much, you should leave.
Me?
Like, you don't know who I'm talking to. Any second you hear it, damn, what the fuck? It's a lot of weird energy to you in this room, so you should just go.
Man, go drink some ayahuasca.
All right, so check this out. You talking to Blue Legged?
Oh, you talking to me? What are you talking about?
You talking to
That's a fact. That's a fact.
talking to now.
Damn, that's crazy. I think I kind of experienced that.
Phone died.
The Jews are Pharisees. That's literally
That's what I just said.
their entire vibe.
Yeah, they wear those fucking hats like in the fucking movie that was so good.
Apocalypto. Oh,
That's a
shit.
different
I don't
movie.
know that.
Your path is a passion.
I just watched Apocalypto. I just rewatched Apocalypto.
Oh,
the other day.
so good. It's one of my favorite movies.
And I was like,
Really? It's so good. I don't care about
Is it like little bones, like snap?
Knowledge, because the Rockefellers wanted to create a nation of workers, not thinkers.
Exactly. And don't you see, like, now they attack Haiti more than any other country, right? And going on that thing too, my great grandmother, well, my dad told me that my great grandmother used to do, I don't even know if I should say it, but like little magic, like magic stuff. Like he always said, like sometimes, like, you know, he was a troublemaker, and then he lived with my great grandmother, with his grandmother and his brothers, and he would always like do stuff to, like, always do stuff like steal money and stuff like that, and she would always know it's him. But one time they
Every bitch is looking for an itch. She wants something free like a vacation to Paris.
Okay. So what if I didn't need an apology? So how's
It's not about what you need, nigga. You better not need a fucking apology. Like, what? You grown?
Nah, that's what I want. If you feel like I'm so sorry. I just want to know what about what I said? Because the nigga came out, he demonized me. He basically said, yo, you weird. You're not the nigga that I once knew. But he ain't really explained what about what I said that left him so disturbed. That's really what I want to know. Fuck the apology. Like, what is it that bothered you so much? That's
Okay, so this is not a general question. You are directly asking me. Like that's what I thought. So like, you know, man.
Nah. Earlier, I didn't.
Do you get why I think it's? Look, just think about this going on right now. It went from I'm talking generally to direct question. Do you see why I feel like shit is weird? You see,
So we rewatched it. Well, I rewatched it. She watched it for the first time, but it was pretty good movie.
I don't remember seeing that film, but no, I mean, some of the bits you mentioned, I remember, but some of it I don't. It's been a while.
I thought it was funny how at the very end, like the Spaniards showed up, like in their ships. Spoiler alert, everyone, sorry. But at the very end, it was like
We've all
the
seen
Spaniards
it.
showed up. And they were, I mean, the statute of limitations is up, okay? This is
Well, I mean, and also,
over a decade ago.
Yeah.
It was amazing, man. It was an amazing end to the movie. Because it was
I just thought it was funny because like the Spaniards showed up and they're like supposed to be the persecutors, but also at the same time it's like when the Spaniards showed up, these guys were literally running to the shore like, "Help me! They're trying to eat me!" You know? Hey, these guys are trying to eat me. Help me!
It just multiplied the problem by 2. That's what, like, when I saw that, like, at the end, I was like, oh my god, because the whole movie was so intense. And
I think that's how they made their first, like,
and it was such a, like, triumph that the guy, like, escaped, and then they were just like, okay, now the Spaniards are coming, and it was mind-blowing, and you're like, whoa, and then the movie ended, and
I think that's how they made their first allies when they showed up, though. Like, they literally showed up and people were running to the shore like, hey, these guys behind us are trying to eat us. Could you help us, please?
Yeah, and who would have thought fucking 600 years later people are going to be like making landing
complaining about it.
Very useless.
Everybody would be complaining about it. Hey, we showed up and helped these guys, helped you not get eaten by these guys. Now everybody wants to complain about it.
Well, Mel Gibson's movies all of them are good, man. The Passion Christ fucking is, I gotta watch that too. That's, again, that one is intense. You know, Braveheart's obviously great. Mad Max, you know, both.
Yeah.
All 3 of the Mad Max are really
Yeah,
good.
they're really good.
A Road Warrior, you know, like when he's younger. I don't know, man. The comedies, I rewatch as well because they're not that bad.
Was a Patriot.
Patriot, badass, yeah.
All because of a voicemail. Voicemail he left to the dog or something like that.
I thought he was because he got pulled over by a police officer for drink driving and went on a rant or something. Is that what happened?
There was some voicemail that he left to his daughter's voicemail saying she R-worded by a pack of N-words because of how she was acting or dressing.
Retarded by a pack of narwhals?
She's getting retarded.
He
was one of the first people.
Weapons 1 through 72. Shit.
Randy, have you seen any of these films?
which I'm reading something, so I didn't really.
Have you seen any of his films? like Braveheart or okay, I didn't.
Yeah, they're all of them. I like Mel Gibson.
I don't think. I think he's
I
actually somehow
agree.
never saw any of the Mad Max movies.
You like him because he's an anti-Semite.
No, because Mel Gibson knows his script. He actually does have good movies.
What do you think about the Jesus movie? You think it's accurate?
Yeah. Do you think it's accurate?
I'm asking the rabbi there.
I do believe it's accurate.
What makes it so accurate?
The accuracy in it.
I know, but how do you know it's accurate?
It feels accurate.
It feels that way, but do you really think the Roman soldiers acted that way?
You said it.
Apparently, it's very accurate.
Yeah, they probably acted Jewier than that. They're commanded to. They were talking to him like, sorry guy, they told us to do it. The guys with the big noses. So the Romans literally. The Romans were like, the guys with the big noses over there, they look very upset. I got.
The Romans literally looked down on the Jews. I mean, they didn't treat them well.
Potiphar said, or wait, hold on. What's his name said he didn't want to. Pontius Pilate said he didn't want to do this, but all these guys are very upset.
But in general, the Romans didn't treat Jews well. In general, and also they got the decree from Pontius Pilate to do it, of course. So I don't see why that's so accurate.
They were like, I would have let you go, but the guys over here with the big noses said they wanted the robber to go free instead.
And this is also the intro to Wisdom Hosts Retards on Clubhouse, edition number 5. Trying to figure out religious ideology. Welcome, everyone, again, to Wisdom's retarded house of horrors.
I agree. It's becoming pathetic. Listen to what this chick wrote me. I just took her out on a date, and she didn't want to give me her number. So I wrote, sweet dreams. I had a great time. Would love to see you again. She wrote, thank you for a wonderful time and for being a gentleman. I appreciate it. I think you're very sweet and caring. I've gathered that we're in a bit of different stages in our lives, and I'm calling in someone who can travel the world with me, not through YouTube, and is aligned with my medicine path, which is at no interest to you. So I'm wishing you lots of joy and to align. She does ayahuasca. I'm wishing you lots of joy and to align with someone that will give you what you're looking for. I wrote, have fun traveling the world. I said, I'm just making points, but I understand your point. Wish you the best always. If you don't travel in the summer, would love to invite you to my boat in Montrose Harbor. It's very peaceful. But she does ayahuasca. Like, how many fucking times do you gotta do ayahuasca till it becomes a health problem? Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
No one who brags that they needed ayahuasca should be like entered into the
I started doing ayahuasca, and I'm just gonna, I think, keep doing it for a while now.
Yeah, it's like, I can understand if it's a business and you're trying to get people to go on like guided vacation trips or whatever the fuck, but it's like, if you think ayahuasca is gonna solve all the problems in the world or even solve your problems, like, maybe you need more ayahuasca. But we all know that that's not true.
You can't be negotiating. You can't be like a courting, like, not part of the courting ritual. Like, how do I get this person to couple with me? I don't know.
Yeah. Are you trying to kill me or something? Like, are you what? The fact that she also wants me to like travel the world with her is annoying. It's like, bitch, I live in Chicago, you live in Chicago. Like, do you want me to just like start spending all the money to go travel the world with you? Like, no, I'm good. Fucking let's fuck first before I even drop a dime on you.
Imagine that trying to like, you really like a girl, and you concoct an idea to like tell her about like your intense ayahuasca experience that transformed you. Like, that fucking, she's gonna run away so fast.
girl was she says she's a liberal on her profile, and she believes in indigenous rights and environmental rights.
She sounds like it.
Yeah, she was a very nice person. She's hot. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, but you know.
Yeah, but that's gonna.
I'm sorry, elaborate. What is indigenous rights? What is that?
She before I went out on the date, she went to Guatemala for 9 days with some guy. Didn't fuck him, and then she's like, she said it was super low vibration, and I had to like, you know, cleanse him from me.
Everyone had a sounds like Isabel. The one of the
Red
friends
flags
were
everywhere,
getting these.
Oh, there's a lot of
This is a chick who would lead you on for like 20 years, telling you maybe one day you'll have kids.
So horrible.
She has dreads.
And then at 60 you think that she's gonna. At 60 she thinks she's gonna have her frozen eggs put in her.
This is her. This is check my PTR. This is her from her dating profile. Yeah, she's tripping people out on ayahuasca, playing Native American, you know, beat drums, doing sacred chants.
This was her profile before you went on your date?
This is on her dating profile.
Oh no. You made a mistake, sir.
Well, we had a good time. We went to Al Capone's speakeasy. It's called the Green Mill, and this was the most.
After 20 minutes of conversation, you exhausted her.
No, we chatted for like an hour and a half, and she was going into like Christ consciousness, duality. Actually, I'm pretty sure I live streamed it, so it should be on this profile actually.
You're fucking dirty dog.
Yeah, go to subscribe. Well, wait a minute. Did I?
That's fucking
Is it on this
dirtbag,
profile?
man. But
Yeah, but fuck it. I just spent $100 on the date. At least I can get some content.
Dude, I'm with you, man.
Fuck these bitches. They're fucking obnoxious. It's like, you know,
Yeah,
she's talking to 300 people on her Bumble all around the world trying to get free fucking vacation trips. Like, you know, fuck you. Like, you're just another fucking hoe.
Is there a hierarchy? And then is there a hierarchy with you, or do you just like throw everyone in the bus? Like, what? Do you have a hierarchy, or you just whatever? Just it's convenient. That's probably the biggest question.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I respect this. I respect this woman. She's different.
I think he's asking if there was like any sort of like selection criteria before you decided to live stream, or if you were like,
pretty much, or do you just everything is just like let's go.
Just depends. Like, I mean, live streaming somebody like at the dinner table, it's just like Clubhouse. It's just another stupid conversation. It's like, what's the big deal? If you're gonna get pissed off, but she's not gonna know I live stream the convo. I mean, I think it's under my U profile. Let me see what I titled it. I called it. No, maybe I lost it. Maybe it didn't hit. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm just saying she was hot. So it's like, you know, I'm sitting there having a drink with her and like giving her a back massage and cuddling with her and grabbing her nice fat ass. But apparently, because I don't want to travel the world with her and drop all my money, you know, paying for her vacations, like I'm not getting laid, I guess.
dude, I'm so glad I'm not dating. Sounds like it sucks these days.
Well, I mean, you don't have to date. All you have to do is slap some ass.
This one.
Yeah, is the fat ass is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Slapping ass.
This Jewish chick that I know, like she actually she's a successful woman, but she actually confirmed that like she will fuck for money. Like she actually confirmed it with me.
What the hell?
Yeah, she's like, I will fuck for like a $20,000 handbag, $15,000. I'm like, really?
The majority of them will do that, especially in corporate America.
Jesus Christ.
They're prostitutes. Like they will fuck a guy who's hideous for a $15,000 bag. It's like, what?
Who are we talking about?
Just bitches in general, really.
Where? What are their names?
The Western world. Say,
Let's go say 20 to like, say
Where did they start?
5.
What I don't understand is how does a man tell a woman like, hey, I want to smash, but like I know you're not into it.
A lot of people don't talk about like the taboo shit. A lot of people know for a fact that girls from the jump, like in high school, start fucking older dudes. Like, let's just stop the bullshit. When I was in high school, I knew hella girls that were fucking dudes that were in college and shit like that. You was like, what the fuck? So thank you. Like, let's stop, right? Let's stop pretending, right? So like I started to break down the women's psyche like as a young kid, right? And I was like, dude, these modern women are just on some dumb shit. This is just some nasty dumb shit. And then I'm 29 now, and you look up and you see shit like the Jalen Green situation, where this bitch is like literally like close to my mom's age, dating a dude that's like younger than me, that's the same age as her son. She's fucking her. She got pregnant by a nigga that's the same age as her son. That's the weird as fuck, bro.
We don't like the same nigga. We don't like that.
Oh, it's a universal term.
We don't
No,
like
the problem is the
we have
females raise the males, and that needs to change. So when the males raise the males, then it's like that's the
But the problem is that
reinstantiation something
the problem
amazing.
is, that's what I'm doing. When the males raise the males, then the girls will be in check. But if the girls are in check, you won't get asked to clam. So you'll all be bitching. No, leave it as it is.
Disagree.
So why do you want to let? There's a lot of insults.
Mothers.
Why do you?
It's easy to like. If you're just out here trying to like smash bitches right now, it's so easy. Like it's too easy right now. But like if you're out here trying to find a wife, it's like damn near impossible. You're trying to look. Yeah.
Oh man, you can get your wife from abroad. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of.
I did.
Even though it's easy, there's a lot of incense. And what you're trying to do is limit the supply of air.
Yeah. Well, now people talk about the incel a lot, but a lot of people don't talk about the rising phenomenon of a femcel. Like women are totally crashing out right now. The femcel is definitely a real thing.
Yeah, that's because women want men, and men can't be back.
Yeah. It's like cascade failure, man.
It's like a
masculinity's gone away.
It's like a manifold. It's like the ultimate manifold mindfuck. They want to make men women. They want to make women men. They want women to complain that men aren't masculine enough. They want the men to complain that the women aren't feminine enough. It's so fucking weird, dude. What about this?
That's right. So in that, what's the point of having a big dick if it doesn't function?
What about the abortion thing too? Yeah, that's crazy. Like that.
Don't forget the vax. All these bitches are vax now. You ain't gonna have no baby with a vax, bitch. Triple boosted, double vax.
Yeah, I ain't having no vax, bitch. That's crazy.
But I was a nurse. I was a teacher. They made me do it.
But if that's the case, you just eliminated 95% of the woman.
Yeah.
From the pool.
Maybe Poland is the answer to every man's problem.
Yeah.
So then the question is, are there enough Polish women for every man?
But if you are Polish, you can get your Polish citizenship. I think if your grandfather was Polish, then you can still get your Polish citizenship.
Poland is the solution.
Can you just make it up? Since Polish people are Polish, can you just say, yeah, I'm Polish?
You have to have like documentation. You have to have your grandfather's birth certificate and shit like that. And you have to hire you pretty much have to hire a lawyer over there, send them like your grandfather's birth certificate and all that shit. Have them do all the paperwork for you because all the paperwork is
just walk in with a speedo.
Yeah, you can do that too. Get on a plane in a speedo
and a fat belly, and just like shiny forehead.
Feel like I'm obviously Polish. Let me in.
They put
down like water hoses. They're like,
be on the desk and be like,
oh no.
Yeah, this guy's Polish. I'll just record it down. This will be his new fucking stamp. There you go. Like, obviously.
Sorry, sir. Didn't mean to give you.
That wouldn't even have to go through court. It's so obvious. It's like, yep.
through your speedo that you're circumcised, so you come in.
Fat too, but fat, like skinny fat. I think that's what they call it. Like not really fat, but like
Skinny fat.
like they got like their fucking belly sticking out, but they're like their legs are tight, their belly's tight and everything, but they're just big and weird.
In a weird way.
I don't know. The one amazing thing about life is like when you get rejected by a bitch and you go to the gym and you see more bitches or some other hot bitch messages you, you're like, oh, what was I even emotionally upset about? Like, did I really just get rejected? No, nobody gets rejected in the now because there's an infinite supply of bitches in the now.
Right. Well, I think the trick is you pretty much these days, if you didn't get with your high school sweetheart, you're fucked.
I think you need to be over 5'8" for a man. And then the world might open up.
Possibly, yeah. That could do it, yeah. If you're
But that's the low end of the spectrum, and then like I don't know, it doesn't actually cap off at any height. But maybe it's
Yeah, but if you're Napoleon, if you're 5'4", 5'2", and you've got and you're Joe Pesci, like you're gonna get laid.
Can't tell your story then.
if you have the money.
Yeah, obviously that's the whole thing. Is it really is money?
If you have Joe Pesci money, you'll be fine.
If you have
Get on your fucking knees and suck that fucking knob, bitch.
Joe Pesci is.
You motherfucker!
Think I'm funny? Like I'm a clown? Like you can make fun of me? Fucking kill you. Yeah, how do you like that now? Fuck up. Just smashing him in the head.
Yeah, fuck. I'm looking up Joe Pesci's net worth right now.
$82 million.
I'm seeing
50 million? My friend used to caddy for him in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's a real Jew, isn't he?
No, he's Italian. What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, I meant the real Italiano.
But yeah, I mean, Marty Scorsese, Joey Pesci, they're all Jewish, technically. Making it in the pictures
He was
business.
squeaky. He was squeaky and little, so I just thought he was Jewish. Yeah, fuck.
You know, like if you're a woman and you have a kid out of wedlock, or you just dump the guy, you know, then you go back on the dating apps and you're like looking for a new guy. Like, what were you thinking? Like, what were you thinking?
I don't. Are they really fucked? Because I feel like enough guys are. I think guys are. But guys are cucked enough now.
Okay, raising a child.
Guys are.
I'll let you go on first. Sorry.
No, sorry. You go ahead.
I was just saying, bringing up a child is the most resource demanding endeavor. But there's two different styles. You know, in the racist biology literature, our risk case selection. Do you just have a lot of kids and invest nothing in them, or do you have like less kids and invest everything in them? You know, I'll leave it up to everyone who is allowing me to ramble to decide which is the better strategy. But that's what it's about.
Well, I was just gonna say, I feel like most guys are cucked enough now. They would just raise like somebody else's kid with some.
Sasha, you knew you left me.
But do you really think, like, what is the actual statistics of you know, men picking up the responsibility of somebody else's child? Like, I'd say it's probably lower than, you know, you
Very,
think.
very low. Very low.
You think so?
It's pretty high,
Fuck
actually.
yeah.
Very
No,
low.
don't take Ryan's advice.
high.
What the fuck does he know?
If you knew or you didn't know.
Pretty high.
If you knew or you didn't know.
If you're like in your.
Well, if you knew, it's great. Great high. We would hope it should be high. But if you didn't know.
Just imagine
You
meeting.
didn't know it's higher. What the fuck?
Imagine meeting the father for the first time, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for like taking care of my kid and everything. You're doing a great job, man."
And what if you're really attracted to him and you wanted to fuck him?
What?
Oh wait, now what do you do?
It's one big happy family of fucking, I guess. We're gonna make another baby. The second baby, nobody's gonna know whose baby it is, because both guys are gonna come in that bitch.
And then maybe he'd like it too. It'd be really weird.
Hell yeah, I would. Which one of you is going first?
Ryan, first.
Ryan, are you saying you're a single dad?
I'm a single mom.
Hey, sister.
Yeah. What up, sis? Want a date? That's what we're talking about.
Ryan.
How was your date?
Ryan, you won't believe what this bitch wrote me. She wrote, I've gathered that we're in a bit of different stages in our lives, and I'm calling in someone who can travel the world with me, not through YouTube, and is aligned with my medicine path, which is at no interest to you. So I'm wishing you lots of joy and to align with someone that will give you what you are looking for, which is your pussy, bitch. I mean, what did you think I'm interested in? Like your ayahuasca addiction?
Oh, she's an ayahuasca healer? Wow.
Yeah. As soon as I told her I've never done ayahuasca, her eyes lit up and she was like, do you want to try ayahuasca?
Why is she excited? And they give her a really bad trip.
I told her,
You could do that.
I was like, you know, smoking weed, drinking red wine, drinking coffee, like.
You could do it with her. You could do it with her, and then you could invoke, if you have integrated all your shit, you could just, I don't know, it could be really an interesting experiment.
You have ayahuasca sex.
Oh, she's an ayahuasca prostitute. I didn't realize.
You ever had sex on ayahuasca? She'd be like,
No, I'm sure she would have been like, yeah, maybe she would have said no because she wanted to lure me in.
she'd be like, I've actually had ayahuasca sex like 20 times, okay?
But what do you? So when you're riding or something, you get nauseous and you just puke all over the guy's face. That's like part of the trip.
Hey, baby boy.
Maybe I can save this somehow. Should I like text her back and be like, all right, I spoke to my friends. They told me I should try ayahuasca and do it with you while we have sex.
They told me I should have ayahuasca sex.
But only to resolve your most negative emotions. So she's gonna help you with that. And maybe a conduit.
Yeah. They didn't mean it in a carnal way. They thought it would be healing for my childhood.
All the pent up masculine energy that is just residing in the subconscious in the shadows is gonna be released.
Is that when I pay off? Is that when I pay off my $15,000 credit card from her European vacation?
Just can't complain.
Get rid of your toxic ayahuasca holiness.
It's amazing that any bitch would think that I would just like pop thousands of dollars on like a meaningless vacation with somebody who's not even into me, when I would much rather use that money on everything else in my life, including doing all those fun things, with somebody that's actually into you.
That's a red flag. So she was trying to get you to take her on some European vacation or something?
She loves to travel. So what that means is like, I want you to pay for my traveling.
We're going to Europe. There was a story in my friends group. One guy was like promised to take the girl to like some European country. I can't remember the details, but the agreement was like, you are going to fuck me when I take you to Europe. I'm paying for everything. And he did that. She didn't fuck him, and it was like, it was the agreement. It was the fucking, and then went on the trip to Europe and stuff. That's not cheap, And he still wasn't. I don't know. He should just fucking exacted his payment somehow.
Well, after probably this third night, that's when I would have like bailed on her and like literally ghosted her in the middle of Europe and be like, bitch. No, I would have just gone on with my trip and fucking had a great time and just abandoned her. I mean, if she's literally not gonna fuck you, like, bitch, you're on your own now. Take care and good luck.
Welcome to the Clubhouse, hosted by Edmund.
I took this chick to Washington, D.C.
Abandoned in France.
I was seeing this chick in Chicago, this really hot Serbian, and like I banged her in Chicago, and I was like, okay, I'm in love. I want you to come with me on my work trip to Washington, D.C. So I bring her to Washington, D.C., and she won't even like touch me. And I'm like, what happened? You know, so I'm like, I'm meeting with all these coworkers and other people. And I'm like, yeah, I brought this bitch. I'm like, I thought we were gonna have a romantic week, and now she's being a total bitch. And they're like, yeah, like that's women. Like, you know, what do you want us to tell? Like, you know, they're laughing at me. I'm like, fuck.
They just steal. They actually just steal.
Yeah, this one was. I don't know. It's hard to find just like a good loving woman nowadays. Everybody's like Ryan and shit.
Everyone in their family has a fucking story about some evil woman that just fucking rips everyone off. Okay, I've got three instances of it in my like direct and indirect family. You know, everyone fucking knows.
You want to call my mom right now?
Code of ethics that they don't have. That they're fucking more insect than like social.
It's spider mothers. I think it's technically spider mothers. They lay.
I don't fucking know. However, the feminine is fucking so powerful too. You know, I can't deny that. It's just upsetting when it gets malignant.
Listen, now, Ryan will treat you right. I'm sure.
No, he's got lockjaw already. His jaw's been all used up.
Okay.
You didn't know that Ryan has jaw damage from sucking dick? I mean, that's an intense addiction. Literally, addiction.
We all know what the root word is.
Yeah, I'm drinking a lot of alcohol, so it's not gonna work.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, look at Soren down there. I mean, he comes on here and argues with Jews and spreads, you know, hate and propaganda all day long.
Screw the Jews. I can't even track it anymore.
Soren, get up here.
Soren, have you ever had your heart broken by a woman? The world wants to know.
Get up here, Soren. Let's talk about the Jews.
Were you dating some like bitch who was like,
Soren, I am divorcing you because you are on the clown house thing all day. You're always arguing with the Jews, and I can't be married to a man who won't work a job. And you've got to get out of the house, Soren. You got to leave. We're separated now. I don't want to.
You sound like he's married. Is he married to the female Jordan Peterson? Soren, you gotta clean your room. Soren.
You know, most people don't understand the differences between duality and non-duality.
There were so many trans men at this Al Capone bar here in Chicago tonight. It was like the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like 60-year-old men dressed up with full makeup, dresses, wigs. Just the sickest thing you've ever seen, but also the most like funny, entertaining thing you've ever seen. For a second.
For a second. It was entertaining for a second, and then I realized
it's bizarre when you see them.
Yeah, they got like powdered makeup faces on. It's like, what the fuck, ladies?
You know, they don't even like, you know, the men that don't even try and act feminine. They're just dressed in it, and they're like they're pouring wine or something. Like,
hey, you want a drink?
That's the weirdest instantiation.
It's like they'll be nice to you at the bar, and if you make friends with them, they'll invite you over for a barbecue and like murder you in their basement or something.
Probably.
You thought this barbecue was free? The gimp goes in the box.
No real person could be a friend with something like that, right? Like, that just.
No, I think you can, because Clubhouse proves you can be friends with like insane, crazy trans people because they're entertaining from a distance. That's why I say, like, I don't want to come to your house and die, but I will communicate with you through my cell phone if I can film it and like get some content. I mean, because technically they're like one step away from being John Wayne Gacy, right?
That's a stretch. I almost got a piece of his artwork, but it was too rich for my blood. I didn't have enough money, but I wanted to buy it.
What was it, painted in like gay men blood or something?
No, it was just a little squiggle, like a little. I don't know. The
retain custody would have been hard to adjudicate.
That's the most schizophrenic art purchase I've ever heard.
You know, I was in Chicago when I
It's
was
a squiggle.
visiting my clubhouse friends. We went to the Chicago place when they had the John Wayne Gacy like artwork that I don't know if it was real or not, but it was a little bit out of my price range. But it was actually not being for sale. But in my head, it was worth several $100s, and I would like to pick that up. I don't know what I would do with it. I don't even think I'd present it on my wall because the juju would be so bad. But I could maybe fashion a box and put it in a box, and then.
Why would you want to own artwork from a horrific, disgusting serial murderer? Like, what would be the joy in that?
It could just be some like some treasure you had to show people or your kids or to remind yourself, and you just have a piece of it.
Wow. Sasha, don't quit your day job. You're not a very good art appraiser.
Okay.
You're like, fuck you, bitch. That John Wayne Gacy squiggle sold for $300 million at Sotheby's, bitch.
Okay, Edmund. I don't know. It's a fantasy, man. Like.
I know. That's what I said. It's like a schizophrenic art appraisal.
Tell us about your fan. Like, would that be cool if you had like a little piece
of Gacy's artwork? No. I got Basquiat's. That's crazy enough. The fact that I have all this black homeless person artwork in my shit that his paintings have sold for fortunes. Sits on the walls. That's the great thing about art. You ain't got to organize it once you hang it. Hang it and forget it.
Okay.
It's like living in Dixieland. Hang it and forget it, boys. Didn't get the joke.
Well, why not have a little letter-sized squiggle by Gacy? Why not?
One time, I went to the mall and like, as I was walking to the mall, I'm in the parking lot and I find like a garbage bag, like a grocery store bag full of like dirty porn mags. So I'm like, score! So I take that shit
How
home.
old were you? Like 13 or like 15?
Oof, I don't know. Maybe like 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade. I'm not sure.
Perfect. That's amazing.
So
tell us more.
So I put it like in my dresser with all my baseball cards, thinking it's like secure away from, my father. And I go to my dad's girlfriend's house for Christmas in Maine. I get a call from my father and he says, John, we're going to have to talk about all this sexual material you hid in your in your dresser. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, oh no. It just like left me like it was like somebody punched me in the stomach and I was just like, I didn't even know. I was just like, I was literally like, not suicidal, but like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Just horrified, mortified. It's so stupid. Like,
it's endearing that you had a family structure that cared enough about, giving you a lesson about all that.
There's no lesson though. Like, what does a dad tell his son? Like,
I'm saying what I'm trying to say is there is a gratitude that should be paid for actually having families that are involved, like parents that actually even care enough to do an intervention, right or wrong.
Yeah.
This is beyond your story.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
having them there to be interested, like, hey, son, we got to have discussion about it. Like, even.
Yeah, but you're not a father, right? You're not a father, right?
I am the father.
You have kids? I'm just making a point that, like, for a father.
Do you not track personalities, Edmund?
I try my best.
Yeah, so I've several kids. I didn't think you were this plastic.
actually. That you were.
I can't listen to. I can't. You know. Come on, Sasha. I can't listen to every conversation.
No, I think you're playing silly right now.
I'm not. I'm just making the point that like when you're a father and you got a kid, like that's a special moment. Like it's a cool thing to guide. But I'm just saying for me, I was like, because the thing is, it's like I was on a trip, and it's like now you just ruined my trip. It's like wait till I get home to fucking troll me. Spare me the dopamine that you just created. Like wait till I get home so you don't make me feel fucking terrible.
Hey, Edmund, it's okay, dude. You don't need to externalize all your aggression over here, okay?
Well, this is free talk therapy. I mean, thanks for listening. I'll send you the bill later.
Oh man, you want to talk about talk therapy?
Yeah.
And how it's a highly feminized branch of just retardation? Because that's more interesting than us like.
So wait, you're saying Clubhouse is retarded? I agree.
I think females, like this whole concept of talking to people to figure stuff out, it's so feminine. And females are great influencers, so they perpetuate this fallacy.
Mm-hmm.
And they prescribe it to a lot of their males, and they denude them in the process. And it's absolutely horrible. And I wish that more females understood the dichotomy that is man and woman a little bit more intimately. If they got it, then like the world would be a better place. But we empowered the males, so we should reassert our stuff if required. But
well, psychoanalysis with Freud and all that shit, that was popular and like became its own religion in the 20s and 30s, etc. I went to a psychologist once.
It's so feminine though, right? To talk to people about your problems.
It's not productive. That's what they've discovered, is that it doesn't actually help the individual. See, what you're doing is just creating dopamine. So like, where's the therapy in that? You're not actually changing your thinking. You're just talking. So shit out means shit in.
Look, it works for females. For males, they need to have instruction, or they need to be part of a pack that shows them a better directive and gives them upward mobility. It doesn't matter where we end, just the progression, just the little micro steps. But for females, they can talk and they can talk about their feelings, and that's really helpful for them.
Mm-hmm.
My thesis or hypothesis is that it does work for men, because men don't need talk to alleviate their anxiety or whatever, whatever the manifestation of anxiety would be in men is alleviated just by like doing something more than you did yesterday. Something small can be okay, and so that would work. And again, to reiterate, females maybe just need to complain about stuff, and then they're
therapized. They've been therapized.
Welcome to another edition of Retards.
I love how you do the intros, but get it right. Low IQ dumb people talking about nothing, wasting time.
Including Edmund.
Yeah, I'm not above anybody or below. I'm an equal retard in this equation. I'm self-roasting here. I mean,
are you capable of self-deprecating?
Of course, I do self-deprecation all the time. I'm funny. That's what self-deprecation is.
I think it's one of the highest forms of comedy, actually.
Listen, I'm a bald asshole. Right? I'm bald. I'm a bald fucking schmuck. Okay? Trust me. I love the self-deprecation. It's hilarious, But I also like roasting other people. That's it's fun because a lot of people on this app, they're gonna waste your time, and they're honestly worthy of being roasted. Do you know who Honey Badger is?
I do not.
So he roasts theists, Christians, But I told him, I'm like, you should just do a show and you just roast theists and atheists. He's like, but I'm an atheist. I never roast atheists. I'm like, you should roast atheists. It's like, it's the same show. You're just roasting people.
Is he just like a really assertive, high verbal fluency type of guy?
It's hard. It's like, he'll say, go ahead, tell me about Jesus. Go ahead, tell me God. He's like, so this imaginary being is in communication with you. And like, he puts these people on these, he just asks, it's just like a show. It's just like, it's a roast, really. And it's funny because everybody who's talking is technically roasting.
Dude, in some of my older rooms, we had this little thing me and my buddies would like to do was tell us your story. And we have people come in and they fucking literally spill their guts. And then we just pick at them piece by piece, slowly, we just nibble at them so they didn't understand that we were fucking with them, and then after they would tell half their stories, these things would last like 10 minutes or more. Then they'd finally figure out that we were just fucking with them, but we didn't really give a shit about them telling us their story. And why would we? That was some fucking clubhouse magic we had back in the day. That I apologize. I know it's nostalgia, but whatever. I had to summon that.
I don't know. I don't get the feeling of nostalgia when I think about Clubhouse. Like there are times where it's like a packed house or like a full
Well,
house.
you're a fucking weirdo and robot. You don't forge any friendships with people in Clubhouse.
I've gotten laid off of Clubhouse. I've had dates off of Clubhouse, but like guys, I mean, keep that shit on Clubhouse.
You don't have people you really care about that you met through this thing, right?
If I knew they died or were in a horrific accident, I would definitely, have an emotional response. I'm not a fucking stoic robot. And people have died off of this app. I mean, you don't know what anybody is like on the back end of this thing. And if they sound like they're fucked up, they're probably fucked up. Physically.
I've met quite a few people and from Clubhouse that they're all I don't know, easy to
get along with.
Easy to get along with, yeah, man. Same thing as they are on Clubhouse.
Yeah. I'm easy to get along with, but people don't like me because I roast them. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't touched a human body, like a beautiful woman in a while, and finally, like, you start touching a woman again, you're like, oh, I really miss this. It's nice to have a lover instead of, somebody who wants you to trip on ayahuasca, give you their credit card and say, we're traveling the world. We're going to fulfill. See, how are you so spiritual, but yet you want to travel the world and, live in luxury? Like, isn't spirituality?
Why do you outdo them at their own game? I don't think that's evil. You should just be competitive.
See, if I was smart, I would have just said, oh, I definitely want to go traveling with you. Let's go to fucking Italy.
I forgot the card. Oh my god, where's the card? Gotta use your card. And just waited out like 17 hours. I tried to call my mom. You talk with mom like in the fucking Bangladeshi like airport. Just nod. Just make her spend all her money and wait her out.
I took this.
That would be like if you could capture that on video. That would be amazing.
I went to Israel with this girl, and for like many days I was paying for everything. And so we get outside the hotel, we call the Uber, and I'm like, actually, I've been paying for all of this. I was like, would you mind paying for this tonight? And she's like, no, if you're not paying for it, we're not going. I was like, oh wow. I was like, then fuck it, we're not going. I was just like so exhausted of paying for everything. I was like, I just wanted to see if she would pay for anything, and she said, no, we're not going anywhere unless you're paying for it. I was like, cool, great, then we're not going anywhere. Have a good night.
Was she beautiful?
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman, Jewish chick.
Okay, so that's why she had that expectation.
She told me like a couple weeks ago that she wouldn't.
Can you imagine a fat little gnome saying that? I feel like it wouldn't work, right?
Yeah, it's so true, right? I mean, that's why beauty in Kabbalah is like one of the 10 infinity stones of God.
Dude, my family's blessed with it. I hope I didn't like curse everything. Like, my sister's beautiful. My children are beautiful. It's weird, and I don't want to
curse your DNA.
It sounds gross to talk about, but it's germane to the conversation. But it's also as a parent, when I'm offering my tutelage to my children, I never want them to use it. Like it's a weapon, Like or it's a manipulation device, but they have to be aware of their power. I don't know. It's a gift, but it's also it needs to be wielded. Like it's horrible how everyone reacts with beauty. It's just like it melts everything. It's really unfair.
Yeah. I met this beautiful woman once at a trade show, like the most incredibly beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life. I was just like, I can't believe how fucking nice you are, how funny you are, how beautiful you are. So this was like in an internet advertising trade show called Affiliate Summit or Ad Tech, and sure enough, there's this Jewish guy there who like works for Friend Finder or something, pretty successful guy. He hits it off with her. He ends up having kids with her, and guess what? She still left him. She's that hot, on the bigger and badder money and men. Kind of feel bad for the guy, but I also think he's a schmuck. But that's life.
All the honest girls that from my whatever teenage fantasies all ended up with dorks in my assessment. Yet they seem happy, and I'm happy.
Kelly Kapowski was the hottest thing.
That's my dysfunction, It's not theirs.
What's your dysfunction?
Kelly Kapowski. You want to go on? You want to talk about
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Tiffany
Amber Thiessen's so fucking hot. To this day, she's still beautiful. But I even saw her on that show Radio with Joe Rogan, and I was like, damn, she was fucking hot then too. There's something about I don't know. Maybe I gotta go to Poland. Could be the answer. Just to study Poland and go to Poland. It's like an untouched European society.
Oh, dude, they're the best, man. During COVID, I told my wife, I'm like, if this gets out of hand, we have to move to Poland. She's like, what? I don't want to move to Poland. I don't know anything about Poland. I was just completely prepared if more civil liberties were deprived from us in Canada. I'm like, oh, we're fucking selling everything and we're going to Poland. And obviously we didn't do it, but the Polish are fucking.
Imagine what happened on Greenland. That's the word. What happened on Greenland during the pandemic? Because I'm sure that the fucking imaginary virus didn't just float to Greenland and float to their little city of 30,000 people And could you imagine like some Karen in society being like, everybody's got to mask up, and we got to have social distancing, and everybody's got to get vaxxed. And then somebody in Greenland is like, Karen, we live in the middle of nowhere on an island. Shut the fuck up and stop looking at the internet, bitch. You're all gonna die. I don't know. I'm still pissed about
I feel,
that.
hear that?
What are you doing? Drinking bong? Have you ever actually drinking bong water by accident? I have twice or 3 times.
Like, I'm a grown ass adult and I rediscovered the ball and it's amazing. I would like to make a confession, if I may.
Wait, isn't this the show you were talking about?
No, are you recording? Because you should. I'm making.
Yeah, I got 5, 6 cameras going. Let's hear it.
Okay, let's go. So, COVID was an exceptionally weird thing in Canada, at least where I was in Ontario. It was years. It felt like years, like 3 years. Anyways, at some point in the middle of it, I just was like, this is fucking nonsense. I'm not wearing my mask. And it was like 100% compliance, pretty much. So I was just, the odd guy out. And I went to my local grocery store, and the lady was so scared of me, but also like ran up with like a mask. And I was like, no, I refuse. You don't understand the rules, do you? You haven't read the bylaws? She shook her head and she's like, no. And I'm like, well, you should get acquainted. She's like, you need the mask. And I'm like, why don't you just check me out? And anyways, I made a big fucking stink. And that was an everyday occurrence. And I have to go to that grocery store every fucking day. Not every day. I go there often. And she's off. She's there. And I don't know if she recognizes me. She probably does. Because people are idiots. And I don't know. This brainwashed lady through the COVID thing recognizes me, and then I'm just the guy that stood up to her tyranny, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. And I go there and I get vegetables and stuff. It's pretty close to my house. I don't know how to feel about that. She still wears a mask, by the way, which is really weird. I don't know what it looks like underneath there. It's like probably pockmarked from all the fucking CO2 recirculation and shit. She's fucking completely brainwashed.
I still see people in their cars with masks on.
She's been wearing it like every day at work, and I don't know. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but
I feel like you know what a mask is today? It's like somebody that trolls you with a burqa, in the sense that there's no communication, so they've already like trolled you pre-communication with their physical garb. And I think it's like an initial one up before any communication. So it's like they've already got the upper hand by presenting themselves in an obnoxious manner.
This one, I understand what you're saying, but this one's different. This one is like, there wasn't a lot of brain matter there to start with, and then it was like an infestation sprayed right into her brain, and like it won't let go. It's sad too, because she looks like a nice lady from on the exterior. I don't mean pretty, but like she probably has other things in her life that make her good, except for this brain dysfunction. I don't know. I'm very harsh on the whole fucking COVID retard crew, which is like 90% of everybody, by the way.
Yeah, my dad, my mom, my sister, they all got vaxxed. And this business guy I know who brought me to this fucking app, who owns a pretty big business, he left. But anyways, he told me I should get zapped. Anybody it's like if you doubted the zap and you were like, should I do it? And everybody was like, yeah, just do it. Just do it. No big deal. Just a little shot. Just fucking get it done with. It's like, thanks for that terrible advice.
Dude, I quit my job. I moved jobs. My one, I was working from home for like, I guess a year and a half or 2 years or something like that. And all of a sudden they were like, hey, everybody's got to get vaccinated. Everybody's got to come to the office now. And also everybody, if you want to come into the office, you have to be vaccinated. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm fucking quitting.
It's so stupid. It's like it's just a piece of paper. So I don't understand why anybody even like didn't just fucking lie and be like, yeah, here's my fucking paperwork.
I was tempted to. I did on the principle of the thing though. I was like, for a second, I was tempted to, get a fake card or buy a homeless guy a sixer and give him my ID or something. Like I could have done that, but I was like, you know what? This is fucking retarded. I don't want these people to think that they can just do this. I'm gonna quit. Oh man, it was so fucking retarded.
Yeah, it was a horrible time because it really brought out the worst in people, and
Yeah. Oh yeah,
really
for sure. My coworkers were all assholes about it. They were all like, "Oh, I'm afraid of blah, blah." I was like, dude, if you think literally 6 months ago you would have been complaining about this if it was Trump saying that you had, if you think that politicians should be able to tell you, what you can get injected to your body, you're not even thinking about like, what if Trump was telling you what you can put in your body, right? Like, would you want Trump telling you you can get something in your body? Also, at the very end of 2020, like all these politicians are saying, I'm not going to get no Trump vaccine. And then as soon as Biden got elected, everybody was like, I'm going to get the vaccine. There's no continuity whatsoever as far as all that went. It's ridiculous. Sasha got the vaccine.
Welcome back to the next episode of Edmonds Rechards who got or did not get the vaccine. Coming to you straight from KMP 25.
Yeah. Ooh, this is the worst time. I mean, it's so stupid that there's no like actual back end to the vax, where you could just print up your card and be like, yeah, I got it taken care of. I mean, my friend created me a fake card, and it's just so fucking stupid. It's just like a test in intelligence.
Do we treat the people that got vaxxed with sympathy?
Yeah.
No. And now we're also supposed to be sympathetic for all the federal employees who are getting laid off right now. Fuck them.
Well, I'm a federal employee.
I wish I were a federal employee. Okay, well, you shouldn't do that.
I haven't been to work in about 8 months. You want to see my last text message to my boss?
Okay. Extra fuck you, you piece of shit.
She wrote, "Hello, John. I hope all is well. You were scheduled to return to work yesterday. This was on October 31st. And I have not heard from you. Please return my call or respond to this text to let me know what the plan is." I wrote, "Good morning. I do not feel comfortable calling you, as you sexually harassed me in the past. You called me a whore in front of coworker Pam at Potbelly's during our April 24th site visit in Madison, Illinois. As previously mentioned, I am pursuing damages against the IRS and appealing the previous suspension and this return to work request to IRS, Human Capital Office, NTU, and my retained legal counsel have settled this complaint. Please no longer call or text me as I do not feel comfortable speaking with you any further. Best, John."
You're a fucking leech, man. I love that.
That's why he knows everything about. Yeah, that's why you love an IRS agent. That's why Elon Musk is. That's why you're so interested in everything.
Life is crazy.
How many millions of dollars are we spending on people who are?
You're a worm, man.
I'm not a worm. What are you talking about? I actually saved the American taxpayer millions of dollars by not doing my fucking job.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you're in a peach that's overripe. It's okay, man.
Literally, I am like, what is it called? Like, what's it called when somebody is a conscientious objector? I was a conscientious objector of the IRS. It's like, here, spend millions of dollars. I'm like, bitch, just tell these fucking people to clean their fucking office. You know, like, you think spending millions of dollars is going to increase revenue over here? It's like, you're all fucking stupid. This is stupid. You're all stupid. Everybody's just in on the fucking hypnosis to get their salary, but nobody gives a fuck.
I gave myself an excuse for the last like 5 years. It was I'm not useless. I'm just spending through my savings, and all this inflationary stuff is like I'm just gonna spend instead of save, and that's all. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've been living like that.
You mean spending like a drunken pirate with no repercussions?
Yeah, like just spending all my savings.
Well, that's stupid.
With all the inflation.
Well, that's
like not bad.
Listen, I took all my money out of the bank because I got sued by a lawyer and a judge, and they debanked me and literally seized my money. And I'm like, I am now living.
That was our company, but personally, you got your stuff seized personally?
Yeah, by a judge and attorney for a garnishment.
Why you fuck up?
Because I bought a house that went into foreclosure. They petitioned and revived the debt, and now I work for these bitches.
External, you're blaming externalities.
It doesn't matter. I'm king of my castle. Yeah.
Why would the house do that?
I bought it in 2008 for $645 and sold at auction for $345.
And I fill the blank.
Lost my life savings.
Oh my god, that's why you're so smart, because you were so goddamn retarded.
Pretty much. I wish I wasn't retarded and just smart.
When you get to that point, you are like...
Instead of trying to grow weed, you should just buy it wholesale and redistribute it. That's how stupid I was.
And teach your customers how to boof it. Killer.
Boof!
Right? Edmund, you don't understand. Mine's a killer.
Ryan is a killer? He's got lockjaw.
Yeah, that'll kill you.
He can't kill people when his jaw is, misaligned.
Lockjaw is a killer.
I just find it amazing that, I'll watch porn and I'll watch some hot chick, deep throat a cock to try to do it. But to just think of, another man, trying to deep throat another cock, it's like, what in the fuck are you thinking?
I don't think I could keep it erect.
I don't understand, I know women are complicated, but, to go and be gay is
This is predominantly a male market, and therefore it's from the imagination of men, pretty much. You know the answer, Edmund. Come on, stop fishing. Is there poor fishing?
Listen, you're in the low IQ dumb people room talking about nothing wasting time. I mean, there's no topic off limits.
You know what I'm confused about? What is with all the sister stuff?
Because I have a sister, and one of her friends, I call her sister, and she calls me brother. So when I talk to the faggots on this app, I'm like, hi, sister, and they're like, hi, brother, or hi, sister. It just became a thing.
That's not true. My grandma calls her sister, and I said I wanted to do that here, so I called Abby and Lucy sister, and I included.
Okay, first of all, there's no thing about sisters. It's just another level of depravity in terms of the porn hierarchy or the sexual whatever hierarchy. There's 1,000 fucking different categories. It becomes so retarded.
Dude, it's one of the biggest. It feels like it's one of the biggest categories now.
Pop art. It's very different.
Pop art, huh? This is like your Andy Warhol moment.
It's like one of those biggest categories that.
I don't want to do statistical analysis on what the fucking weight is, the weight is on all the 1,000 categories. Like, I don't want to make it AI can help us with that. I don't want to. No,
I can help you. I can help you with that, sis.
No, I will actively block myself. So some people in the last 20 years, people figured out like, oh, okay, you should exercise and you should eat food and stuff. But no one's figured out that we should maintain our.
We haven't figured out to eat food.
Our mental hygiene. Mental hygiene is not a category.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be very, very big. I would say in the next 20 years.
Yeah.
As
50 years already.
I'm not going to monopolize on it, but it's the concept that no one's embodied. It's just like so what I did, I turned all the notifications off on my phone, and I also deleted like WhatsApp and some other shit. And I did that like 7 years ago. And I'm like,
Elon Musk calls that cognitive security.
I'm not sucked into my phone, you know. I use it. It's like a fucking it's a tool, you know. It doesn't. Do I use the phone or does the phone use me?
Yep.
There's some. So mental hygiene is a part of the concept that I was just talking about. And one very easy thing you can do is just fucking turn off all notifications.
Yeah.
I find myself when I don't have notifications checking to see if there is one.
Dopamine.
I know what I
Dopamine. It's Elon Musk calls it cognitive security, but yeah, essentially what comes through your ears if you don't actually practice abstinence or temperance or privacy.
The technical term is semen retention.
No, Sasha's saying that all communication is hypnosis, so you should limit the bullshit that you're subjected to having to listen to. I mean,
did I say all communication was hypnosis?
Yeah. What do you think all those fucking notifications are? Those are hypnosis notifiers.
Okay, that's fine. You clarified it. I can get on there.
No, Elon Musk calls it cognitive security, but the belief is that the ears are the canals to your temple or your brain. So protect your temple at all costs.
I figured out a new style of parenting, which is show them something better that is in the digital realm. It's very hard, and it actually requires a heavy hand. You can get them outdoors. I think you can show them something that's better than the electronic, but they still integrate with it. It's really tough, but you have to have one foot in, in each of the categories, I guess.
What are the categories?
Like go out and do stuff and be athletic, and then you can use your screens.
See, it's the same problem that everybody faces no matter what age you're at, is that,
Zero screens during the weekdays, by the way.
The analogy that I like to come up with is that we are genies living outside of our bottles, and the bottles are trying to trap us back in it, which is our cell phone. So people rub and doom scroll and touch their phones, but really it's just being put back into the bottle. So no matter what age you're at, whether you're 35 or 25 or 15, like essentially if you're not using it for educational purposes, you are being, used. Like you're just doing the dopamine for basically publishers and Google so they can deliver ads to you at the end of the day. Like you are just a fucking worker bee, drone, automaton, meaningless person if all you do is just consume and don't create, or if you just buy and don't sell. And it's shit in, shit out.
Are you susceptible to that, Edmund?
No, because I feel like as long as you meditate or read a book for 1 hour a day, you're basically like protecting yourself, because it's just shit in, shit out. Like if you're going to absorb all this toxic stupidity, you have to also put in something positive and good to counteract it. Otherwise, this app would destroy you.